This is Slo Mo Joe, and this is the Timeless Poetry Show. I am coming from the Joseph Vivaldi Network Studios, and I have a poem for you. As I find it, I will read it. It is called The Fight from Fear by Joseph Vivaldi. It is from Apparitions of a Warrior. With a feeling inside me, all I think about is the outside and of my many dreams. When I walk inside, I feel it die. Why do we face many things and others don't? Do they have it in them, or is it just us who survives? It's a battle of two fights. One fight is with attention. Another fight is with total fear. Who wins the fight? Who are we to judge as liquor rides over pain? Sooner or later, it will eat you alive. The pain will get worse when we fight only about the problem and not about the right thing to do. I speak of that poem because we all face things. We all face a dilemma. We all face problems. And I think of The Young and the Restless and a story about Faith. A story about her addiction with alcohol. An accident in the show and the problem and the dilemma that she faces. But you think, and I mentioned that with liquor in the poem. This was a poem written a while ago. The fact is, how does some people face it easy, some people don't? Well, you know, it's part of life. Sometimes you gotta face the adversity of life to come on top of that moment, wherever it is, and you have to face the adversity and want to improve, want to get better, want to stand strong despite whatever matters. That is from Apparitions of a Warrior. Now, I don't know what poem I'm gonna read. I'm gonna open up a book written by a treasure of great poems selected by Louis Untermeyer from Simon & Schuster. This is a while ago. I don't know what poem I'm going to read. I don't know what century it is. But I'm going to read a good poem from, so I find the name of the poet, I will read it. And apparently he wrote a lot of poems. This is from George Gordon Lord Byron. He lived from 1788 to 1824. It's cold evening. O Hesperus, thou bringest all good things home to the weary, to the hungry cheer. To the young bird, the parents broadening wings. The welcome stole to the early bird. Steer whatever of peace about. Our hearthstone clings where our household goods, protective dear, are gathered around us by thy look of rest. Thou bringest the child to the mother's breast, soft hour which wakes the wish and melts the heart of those who sail the seas on the first day, when they from their sweet friends are torn apart, or fills with love the pilgrim on his way. As the far bell of vesper makes him start, seeming to weep the dying day's decay, is this a fancy which our reason scorns? Ah, surely nothing dies, something mourns. By Don Juan. Oh yes, as they say, death. Something dies, it ends, but it can be a new beginning. I don't know why I put that, but it's a good poem. It's a good poem. They wrote of death a lot of times in the olden days, but they wrote of many things. And I'm reading something by John Clark now. 1793 to 1864 he had lived. And I will read one poem he wrote. I'm gonna read Fearwood. The fear trees taper into twigs and wear the rich blue-green of summer all the year, softening the roughest tempest, almost calm, and offering shelter ever still and warm to the small path that towels underneath, where loudest winds, almost as summer's breath, scarce fan the weed that lingers green below, when others outdoors are lost in front and snow. And sweet the music trembles on the ear as the wind southers through each tiny spear, makes shifts for leaves, and yet so rich they show winter is almost summer where they grow. Interesting. It's a time of a new season. Spring begins and it's under ear. Winter into summer. Well, yes, that would be spring. I am going to take a commercial break. as I air this clip from the audiobook. The audiobook, The Driving Dream. Apply what you like to your boring job. Written by Joseph Ivaldi. Narrated by Tony Chiappetta.
On the job, for future positions you may hold. 2. Education. It is important to have education on the job. And 3. Question mark. It is important to add your own skills to that boring job. The question mark is for using your own creativity. From Steve Jobs to Michael Jordan, a job should be more than a job. It should be something that you are passionate about. This book is broken up into 2 parts. 1, applying what you like to your job, and 2, the driving dream. There is much more in this audiobook about the author. Joseph Ivaldi graduated from Keene University with his bachelor's degree in sociology. He worked in a group home setting for 13 years. In 2009, Joseph wrote his first ebook, The Amazing Effects of Water, which was on Lulu. But in February 2013, he re-released this book on Amazon Kindle. In 2013, he released his first fiction book, A Soul Warrior's Journey. In December 2014, his book, Birth Order, How the Roles of Each Sibling Are Placed at Birth, became the #1 hot new release under Sociology of Marriage and Family on Amazon. He now is a podcaster under the Joseph Ivaldi Network, doing topics of news, poetry, and comedy. Also, he was one of the founders of Joe's Writers Club, now available online. Retail sample.
Yes! Slo Mo Joe Timeless Poetry Show. I read 2 poems from former writers who used to live and now. Poem from Joseph Ivaldi. Now, I am going to go by the archives. I don't know if I read this before, but I'm gonna save some for another time. But I'm looking, and I'm gonna read That Smell Of. I know I might have read it before, but I will read it again. It's driving me crazy. I don't know why. I can't have a piece of that. What is it? What it is cooking. Whatever it is cooking. It's all around the rooms. I tried to taste that old, tasty, juicy, and good-smelling taste. However, where is it that I can find it? I can always find that fresh breakfast in Vermont. I was thinking of a vacation that I had whenever I went to Vermont, and I smelled and I had the taste of Vermont syrup, maple, and also pancakes or the waffles. tasted really good when I woke up to a morning breakfast. The state of Vermont. I'm gonna read something else. Edgar Allan Poe wrote of a telltale heart. Joseph Vivaldi writes of a tale of the heart. Let your mind flow, let your heart go, let the solution unwind. Feel the great sensations as if you were blind. There are periods of knowledge, it is the sake of an honored pledge. I let it strive in my heart. It pounds as it is a pressure from a dart. It is an apparent fog. It spins like a log. It builds upon the strength of the sunset, where the depth of the heart might dry the wet. I don't know what I was talking about there, or Joseph Vivaldi was talking about there, but Joseph Vivaldi spoke good in that poem. Now, this is going to be a poem. I'm going to go to Vision. As you would know, and I read this because as I read, it is Easter Sunday. And as I read Easter Sunday, I will read this. It's called New Jerusalem from Milton by William Blake. And did those feet in ancient time walk upon England's mountain green, and was the Holy Lamb of God on England's pleasant pastures seen, and did the countenance divine shine forth upon our clouded hills, and was Jerusalem builded here among these dark satanic mills. Bring me my bows of burning gold, bring me my arrows of desire, bring me my spear, O clouds unfold, bring me my chariot of fire. I will not cease from mental fight, nor shall my sword sleep in my hand, till we have built Jerusalem in England's green pleasant land. It's from Milton. I close the podcast of Soul Warriors. No, close the podcast with a Slo Mo Joe Timeless Poetry Show. I am the host, Slo Mo Joe, and I ended there because it's just a very nice way to end with a poem from William Blake. Have a good night or a good morning, folks, whenever you listen.